Act 6.3 boss fight details are released, we have a further bit of info on the trade-in event for next month, and our dungeon days becoming more of a permanent thing. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're ready for another Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday. But don't forget, press subscribe, put post notifications on all, and get involved with the discussion point by having a comment down below and hitting the like button. Thank you. Oh yes, that's very important information, but without further ado, let's get into these stories. The news begins on the Twitter page for Otrix. Now, if you're following the channel, you'll know that this information was part of the announcement which I did on Monday. Now, as you can see here, you can tell that we're going to get 4 to 5 star chances of certain champions when it comes to the login calendar. Happy days. But Kabam have recently dropped what the actual calendar is going to look like. So Kabam dropped this about a day ago, and it's still pretty cool to see this. Now I'm glad they did put it. It just gives perspective of what players are likely to see. Summoner, this is what you're likely to get. For Proven, you're likely to get this. And Uncollected here. And then finally, you get here. Now this is the most substantial, with the Tier 2 Alpha being a full Tier 2 Alpha. It doesn't really add some extras to it, but going into the month of maybe November, maybe December, maybe even January, you're going to see some substantial calendars with the birthday, with the winter calendar, and maybe a special one to boot. So this is going to be a good little time. And even it's saying here that day 14, which is the one that's unmarked, contains the Fantastic Four beacon. So it's the final beacon. Yes, we've been a long time building to this point, but we're finally at an end of the Fantastic Four saga. There are a few little rumblings of the amount of 6-star shards being given out, to say maybe the loss of the 5-star shards on a monthly basis, but I suppose in some ways it's good to have an extra bit of 6-star shards getting you close to that next 6-star. Yeah, it depends where your progression route and where your thought process. Put in the comment section, do you feel that 200 6-star shards is a little bit less and more 5-star shards as a bonus in that Cavalier calendar would be more? Put your thoughts down below. Next up, and we've got Act 6.3 boss fights. Now, this is taking part at the moment with Legacy, as you can see in the background here, and he's fighting against Havok. Now, I've just seen him do the Vision versus Havok fight, and it just it just makes me laugh. I don't know if Kabam, I'm pretty certain they said they wanted people to explore 6.2 more, and also the thing with other type of elements as we go into 6.4, they want it to be explored more. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be one of these ones that gives players that amazing interest to explore this more. People that in the Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube community, as well as key community members with extensive rosters, have said to me, and as I've talked with them at New York Comic Con, that they haven't 100%ed 6.2, and at the moment have no plans to 100% it, based on the fact of it's just a bit lol, really. It's a bit lol. So yeah, I guess that's the case, that people will do it when they want to do it, and maybe there's going to be other things in the game that interest them a bit more. Maybe variants. I know his variants seem to be pretty good, so long may they continue. So I think a lot of players may look to do variants as opposed to this. Next up, and it's Dungeon Days. Yes, Dungeon Days, something that the player base have been talking about for a while. Yes, we do get them occasionally, but will they ever be something of a permanent feature within the game? Well, Kabam Mike says we don't have any Dungeon Days planned this month. Those were part of the Summoner Appreciation Summer, but obviously you guys like them, so I'll talk to the team about bringing them back in the future. I think for a lot of players that don't really enjoy extensive battling in dungeons, this would be a welcomed addition to be more of a permanent thing, or a more reoccurring thing, especially considering if you could say it's once every 2 months, that would be something that would be quite nice. 1 month off, 1 month on. In other news and what's happening next month, further clarifications are going to be given in this segment. First of all, thank you very much to everybody that supported that video on Monday, because you smashed it. Completely amazingly kind things were said in the comment section. I spent a bit of time on that video and I was quite happy how it turned out. There's a few things, if I had more time, but I was really tight to deadline, that I could have tweaked some stuff, some text flying in and things, but the problem is getting a video out in a very quick time frame isn't always possible, and that video took about 5 hours to make. So even though it doesn't look like a complete kind of movie thing, it took a while to do. So I thought, all right, let's get it out there. But there's further clarification on the things that were discussed in that video. So first and foremost, clarification on what the trade-in event is. So as Kabam Mike says, this will be like the item trade-in events, like the alchemy event in January, where you can trade up potions and revives, etc. Now, I don't know if this is going to be similar to like Summon Sigil, where you're able to trade up stuff to get better stuff, but I think the element of premium content will not be put in for the entire player base, but I could be wrong. It really does depend on how well they want to do this, but I'm pretty up for this, especially if it's potions and revives. Upscaling them to get better ones is going to be great. The other bit of clarification is that Silver Surfer will be entering in December. Now, I think this works out well with the plan that Marvel Realm of Champions will have and how that will open up, because that's the thing, we've got to open up a portal, a communications portal or something linking between two games, which I'm going to do in a video probably in the next month or two. Also, just to clarify, there is a bit of a mistake in that Proven aren't meant to get as many good rewards as other players would receive, which is kind of a little bit disappointing, and I'll have to kind of explain further in another video, which is all about like further progression for beginners, which I feel that even just making that statement off the cuff, people aren't going to really like that, but I've got more method to the madness, which I'll try and put together in another video. But still, you know, having these calendars is a great addition, and I hope that I get a 5-star the first time, because my luck's terrible, as well as a lot of other people's are. Next up, it looks like the Cavalier daily deals, which obviously, as you know, have been recently put in, seem to be quite fun and substantial, especially because like Kabam should have started ranking these or wrapping these up as quickly as possible so that players kind of feel that they're making that progression. There seems to be a bug with them of some kind. I'm reading a lot of the info from players' frustrations about this. This seems to be very centric to the Android platform, which is annoying because it always feels like there's something not going Android's way. Man, that sucks. Kabam gave out some steps to get this sorted, but unfortunately a lot of players responded with, this didn't help and this didn't work. Later on yesterday, it was confirmed that yes, this seems to be a very Android-based issue and it will be taken to the game team to look at. And the final say late yesterday was, we've pushed a fix live for this issue with the Cavalier Daily for Android players. Again, apologies for the delay on this, which I think a lot of players are still on the thinking that, look, we bought this deal, even though it's by mistake. Always important to read things before buying. It's only that if it's in the crystal pack, it's you know, mistaken, which kind of sucks, but that's just how it is. Yeah, a long time to get this sorted. Our next story is all about the CCP. Yes, 2020 sees the expansion and the extension of the CCP and how and what it covers. Now, one thing that's really great is that it's going to be allowing artists in, and that is something I love. I'm a big fan of comic book art, I'm a big fan of art in general, but also the idea that we have these fantastic artists within our community that do some amazing work, but it's not something that is seen hugely. People do it for the passion, and the fact is they want, well, I want them to be seen more. And the great thing about the CCP, it allows that. There are restrictions obviously to going into the CCP, joining the CCP, even not growing the CCP. But that's the thing, if you think you qualify or you want to read more about joining the content contributor program, then please go to the link in the description and it will take you to this page. And now on to our final story, which is arena predictions. As always, my predictions are down below at the moment. And my boy King Groot's in. Well, I don't think he's going to go very high. So I've gone with a respectful 30 mil for the 5-star version, although I feel that that might drop quite considerably and may even go into between 25 and 30. But I think if you want to be safe and comparing this to Venom, Venom is a usable champion and went for about 37, 38 mil. And I'm kind of thinking that this guy is going to go about 30 mil flat. But like I said, could go 25 to 30. 4-star version of King Groot, I'm going with 6 mil. Even though that may be, again, a little bit more, I just think that it's enough to say, look, if you're grinding out just an extra 500k and you'll get him. But I think that, again, he's going to go close to the milestone target for this. And then we've got Ronan, which I think is going to be the one I think some players will be interested with. And I'm going with 2.4 mil, which I think, again, is very respectable. I don't think that he's going to go high to about 2.8, 2.9 mil. I just think that 2.4 mil is probably fair because he has hype. He's a good champion, but I think that a lot of players are more interested in him in a 5-star or 6-star format. But again, that's my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I feel quite confident in those predictions. Yeah. So there we have it. That has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 23rd of October 2019. If you enjoyed the news today, make sure to hit the like button. Check out some other content here. Have your say and stuff down below in the comments section. And I'll see you later on for the live stream over on twitch.tv/RichThemanLive. See you then. Bye.